Now, I'm introducing on my show. We have a lady who's been on my show before. Always good to invite past previous guests on my radio show. We have Milena Galasso. Welcome back.
Hi Dan, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. And this time we got your name right.
Thank you so much for having me back. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, great. You've been very busy as well, so we're going to touch on that. I wanted to just get you back on because you got a new single out. It's not that long since you released the last one previously, but this one's called Distant.
Yes, it's called Listen, and it's a fun song. It's about mocking a long distance relationship in a way.
I would say, yeah, distance and then long distance relationship. That makes sense. And you've done a music video to this as well. Does the music video tell a story?
Yes, yeah. We did it in one day, which is pretty amazing. Like we went to the studio and we just like dashed the idea from start to finish and kind of improvised. And I had so much fun filming it. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did actually manage to catch it as well because you start off like looking intelligent with the glasses. Is that kind of like secret undercover? Is it?
Yeah, I look smart.
Ah, lovely. And who did you work with on this record? Was it the same production as last time?
Yeah, correct. Same producer, same songwriter, and we also recorded the vocals for it in Abbey Road.
Oh wow, yeah, great stuff. Abbey Road. That must be a great feeling to be up there with all the other greats who've recorded there.
Yeah, it was awesome. We talked about it last time, didn't we?
We did, yeah. Last time I didn't talk about your inspirations, so over the years, who have inspired yourself?
I've always like been listening to like, you know what? When I was a kid, I used to turn on MTV and just kind of like watch what was on. And I've always loved music videos. That's why I love doing music videos because I
Mm.
think it just adds up to the storytelling. So I would be watching. Lady Gaga was very popular at the time. Katy Perry was very popular, and One Republic were a big hit. I think I discovered them on Counting Stars, and ever since then I've been hugely inspired by them. I love them. I love Ryan Tedder's songwriting, and yeah, them
Oh,
pretty
good.
much. Yeah, all the big pop names.
Yeah, some 2010s kickbacks there, and they're
Yeah,
still popular with the next like generation coming along. Like the students still dance to that music they
I
grew
hope
up on.
so.
So it's amazing.
Yeah,
Right, you have some gigs coming up. Is that right?
I do. Yes, on Friday.
Oh, Brill. Would you like to tell my listener a bit more about them? Like any more gigs coming up, like over going into the summer as well?
Yeah, so right now I am running as a runner-up in this competition to get to play at the Isle of Wight Festival this summer, which would be amazing. So we are at the semi-finals now. The semi-finals are happening in Shoreditch this Friday, and yeah, so yeah, I am like hoping to be playing at some festival this summer. I am playing in one in August called Old Town Live, and then after Friday, my next show it's a leaving party of a friend of mine who's leaving and going back to the US. And it will be on the 9th of May at the Jazz Servant Jazz Quarters or something like that in Dalston. And that's gonna be so much fun. She is great. And yeah, these are my shows. But right now I'm focusing on Friday because
Yeah.
it's a big thing and we just finished rehearsing and it went well and I'm just in my head thinking what I can improve and what and
Well,
stuff.
well, best of luck. Best of luck for the Fridays contest. Um,
Thank you.
yeah. So when you like to do shows, is there anyone on your list who you'd like to open for as an artist? Like any artist who you'd like to like support act?
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. I like Bella May. I think she's doing really well in like the UK scene. There's another artist that I really like. She's smaller. Her name is Flo Gallup. I really like her as well. Maybe I mentioned her before.
Mm.
And if I'm dreaming big, then well, New Rules. I love New Rules. Katie Baser, One Republic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because why not?
Yeah. How about a
Uh,
bit of Dua Lipa maybe? Because she
oh
started
my
off
gosh.
somewhere
Yes,
like
please.
yeah. You never know. You never know.
Yeah.
Um,
You
so,
never know.
where in the world is your favourite place to perform at if you had to choose one?
Like a big one.
Yeah, why not? Go for the big city. Because I know you do travel around a bit, don't you?
Yeah, I think everyone's goal is to play at Madison Square Garden, isn't
Oh
it? I've
yeah.
recently been lucky enough to go to New York, and I passed by it and I was like, that's the goal.
Mm. Was that your
One day.
was that your first time visiting New York?
It was,
Ah.
yeah.
And you know
It was awesome.
when you went to New York, how did that come about? Did you just book it just like that? You know, wake up one morning and say, "Yeah, we've got to go."
Uh no, not really. So basically, going back to my song Distance, my long distance relationship boyfriend has been sent to work in New York. And so I said to myself, you know what? If he's going there for work, that means I might have a place to stay at. And I've never been, so let me just go. And that's how we make
Yeah.
things work as well.
Yeah, well, that worked out for you. Well done. And I know you're emerging at the moment, and you're young as well, obviously. How important is development as an artist?
You know what? It's the most important thing. Like recently, I've been kind of like, now that the EP is coming out, and I'm kind of like thinking, what's my next step? I don't really just want to rush things and just like, do the next thing just because I've got to keep the ball rolling. I'd rather like sit back and think to myself, what can I improve? So I've been reading this book called Atomic Habits, and I'm trying to implement that in my everyday life. So I'm trying to see what little things I can improve day by day. Like for example, I started playing a bit more live, and now that I started playing the piano, I'm trying to see what I can improve with my piano playing because it's still pretty basic. And going forward, I would like to improve and start to produce my own demos and stuff. So it is really, really important. At the end of the day, it's what's gonna get me somewhere. And if I don't enjoy the process, and if I think I'm already there, then like there's no point in going forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of
It's
course.
really important.
Yeah, of course. These things take time. It's not an overnight thing, step by step. So that's good. Um, and
Yeah,
and hard work pays off as well. You're putting in to see results as well.
yeah, I hope so. Little by little, I think you've got to acknowledge that, you've come to a certain point, and that's fine, and that works fine. But what can you do to improve
Hmm.
that? Because you
Um,
can always improve.
and what would you be doing right now if you weren't in doing the music career, or were you just born to do this?
I do not know. I have a lot of interests, but like they kind of like come and go. I like the gym. I sometimes think to myself, maybe I could get into personal training or just, be a yoga teacher. I'd be traveling. I love traveling. But I'm not sure if I would, have a 9 to 5 office job at this point in my life. I just don't see myself doing that,
Um,
unfortunately.
Personally, I don't blame you for the 9 to 5. I'm not a morning person either. But you mentioned the gym as well. Treadmills as well are in a gym, which goes on to my next question. How do you balance the treadmill of social media? Can it get a bit overwhelming sometimes?
Yeah, I am a Cancer, so like I go with like sporadic like motivational like points where I'm on it and I post about it, and then sometimes I forget about. Right now, I'm not posting much on TikTok, to be honest. How do I manage that? I don't know. I guess I try to just like take content every time I'm doing something. So I try to keep busy, and every time I'm doing something, I try to have someone filming it or taking pictures so that then later on I always got something to post. But I feel like I should, you know, get better at like planning a bit more. But I'm a more of like a spontaneous person, so I hate planning that much. So when I feel like posting something, I post it, and my followers can wait.
That's it. You seem to get more followers when you post less frequently, as of when. Which goes on
It's
to
it's true, yeah.
my next question: where can people follow you? Is it TikTok and Instagram and Facebook?
Yeah, I am on all the platforms, I believe. But the one that I am like quite good at is Instagram. I always reply to my messages and I try to post at least one story a day.
Mm.
TikTok, I am on TikTok as well, and I'm trying to improve that. TikTok, YouTube. Please follow my YouTube. I'm trying to grow my YouTube with my music videos and stuff, and Facebook. And I think I've got a Twitter account as well, but if you message me on there, I probably might not
Yeah.
read it because,
Good old
yeah, and
Twitter.
that, yeah, and Threads now.
That's cool.
So I haven't mentioned them all.
And is you said your TikTok? Is it? I mean, I'm not on TikTok myself, but is that quite an addictive platform at the moment?
It is, yeah. So again, it's like sometimes you go through a TikTok phase, so you just post, and you keep watching them, and then you think to yourself, "What am I doing? I'm always on TikTok." And yeah, it's very addictive,
Mm.
but like every other social media platform.
So true. If you could change anything about this industry or any industry, what would you do to it?
Uh, Anything about the music industry in general? That's a hard
Mm.
question.
You can pass on that
Good.
one. Maybe we'll save that for another time.
I'll think about it.
Yeah, yeah. Come back to me on that one. Just one more. Any life mottos? When when you wake up in the morning, is there one rule that you live by?
Singing through the pain. I love that song that I wrote a few years ago. It's kind of like my daily mantra, my reminder that like no matter what's happening in life, even if you're going through a hard time, you're still singing, you're still doing something about it. Like you go on, you wake up and you think to yourself, okay, maybe I'm going through a hard time, but there's always something I can do. And you step back, take a moment to like breathe in, breathe out, and see what you can do, and just you know
Hmm.
keep going with your
Yeah,
life.
keep on going. You can't go wrong with that one. Well, thank you very much for joining me on my show, Milena Galasso. It's always lovely
Thank
speaking
you,
with
Dan.
you because you're so approachable and and very good interview as well. So also me to do really
Thank you.
is play your new track "Distant" on my show. So we'll get that on the airwaves now. Thanks for joining me on today's show.
Thank you so much, and I hope you're having fun.
Yes, all good. Perfect.